Finna load, it's low.
Broke ass nigga, what you do today? Broke ass nigga, what you do today? The young OG, bitch, I talk more shit than Dogface.
The most dangerous voice in Detroit is running all over the YouTube streets. You better look over your shoulder, because you never know who or what's going to get it next. Because Dogface TV is in the area.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go, people. My name is Dogface Calderon. This is the YouTube streets. This is the illustrious panel. This is the meeting place. The meeting place, the marketplace for the ideas of black men. I'll start that shit, Boogie. When I'm giving my introduction, don't be giving me no look like that, Boogie. This is the marketplace of ideas. This is where intelligent, reasonable, except you, Boogie. I said intelligent, you're intelligent, but I said reasonable, right? You don't come down on the reasonable side of things quite often, right? Just the YouTube streets. It's public figure Boogie TV. You want to introduce yourself, or shall I do it?
Mr. Time to go to work. That's right. It.
That's it. We Uncle Juice is in the building.
What up, though? It's Juice in here, the Beef Factory 313. Want to hear that gangster shit? Tap into the Beef Factory 313 on YouTube and Instagram. You feel me?
Right. And I don't even know if we should call this next gentleman. I don't even know if he needs an introduction, and nor do I. So let me ask Boogie and Uncle Juice: do we call him a special guest, or is he a part of the program?
No, he honorary member. He honorary host.
Right, whether he
as one of the guys,
whether he want to be or not, right?
For real,
you win.
Do we give him options to decide whether he want to be in cahoots with us or no?
No, he already in cahoots. He locked in.
Right. I'm just asking because I ain't trying to just be presumptuous. You know how black folk be, right?
No, he locked
DC,
in.
Go ahead, handle your business, man.
Yeah, handle your own scandal. Introduce yourself. Why take me a drink of this motherfucking Cavassier? You know how we do.
Oh man, I'm Eon Williams. Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You froze up. We can hear you.
Yeah.
You moving
He
now?
Froze up.
His ass moving now.
Yeah.
Eon DC Blacks Williams is in the building.
Yeah, I'm here, but something wrong. Hold on, man. See if I can
you moving?
You
moving now?
I don't see it. Yeah, Eon Williams, man, author, journalist from Washington, D.C., and man, I run the D.C. Blacks platform. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can see you. Everything is moving properly and appropriately. DC, Eon, DC Blacks
They ain't even
Williams.
start doing that until we start working.
That's how it be. See, that's the federal government trying to stop us from having this conversation. Donald Trump don't like this shit already. He already ain't liking this shit. Can you hear us? Mic check 1 2 1 2. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I think his shit.
What are you doing?
He can't hear us. He can't hear us. See his head shaking. I don't think he hear it.
He can't hear.
Or we can't hear him.
I hear you now, and I was trying to see if I could switch the internet.
Well, how many internets you got in that motherfucker, man? Yeah, we can hear you.
I hear you.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
All right, go ahead. Nah, I had an internet issue, and the people put 2 options on there, and I can't see this super fast option from where I'm at right now. That's all.
Okay, if you need time, you got time to do what you gotta do. No, if you got time, we got time. Get yourself together. If you gotta log into the second one, go ahead, because I'll be logging into my 5.0 too.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, you know, it's all right. You already know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube streets in full effect. Public figure Boogie TV, Uncle Juice, Beef Factory 313, Eon DC Blacks Williams. He's at the epicenter of Donald Trump's bullshit in the great territory known as the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C. He get this internet together. We're finna have an amazing conversation, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is the YouTube streets, right? It's on and popping, y'all. The boys are back in town for real. You see Boogie and
We
Fad.
gonna be back all week.
Right, you see Boogie and Fad up already. Boogie and Fad up.
We
Juice.
gonna be back all week.
Uncle Juice, what's happening with you, man?
Hey, I'm ready to get down to this because the people need to be paying attention and shit. You feel me? They focus on the wrong things. You feel me? And Donald Trump just slid in there and he's setting up his pieces.
Hey, listen, every time something happens, they try to put our focus on the dumbest shit in the world. Well, meanwhile, Donald Trump
missed the second place.
and them boys are they making it happen. Eon, can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you now, but it's a little delay as far as your voice. Yeah, you look like Chinese right now. Your voice saying one thing, but your body language saying something different. Can you hear us now?
It's a delay.
Okay. I hear you.
There you go.
You on?
That's you. You on and popping right now. What's the word with you, Eon?
All is well, man. Wrestling with some connection issues, man. But it went out a little bit, but I heard y'all speak on what was going on in DC and what's on the news. So, the president that took over the local police department and put the United States Attorney General in charge of it. What that's going to be, I don't know. But for at least a week or so prior to this, they've been on all type of bullshit in DC anyway, leading up to this. So I kind of had a feeling they was going to do this. I seen something that was on when we first came on. They had a dude in it trying to explain some shit, talking about everything is federal. I really believe that that's one of them old general terms, like I was talking to you on the phone about, where if you're not really from here, you might think that everything is federal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Uh-huh.
Right. Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can hear you.
But one of the main issues that I see coming is that a lot of guys in the streets, young and old, feds encountering them with DC local police.
Yeah, you cut in and out, Eon.
We ain't gonna be able to do this. Shit ain't even my style. Yeah.
Eon, tell us some of the.
I don't know what the fuck. I'm gonna have to.
Hold on, he having connection issues, Juice.
All right.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. My name is Dogface. Call around YouTube streets. We have Eon, DC, Black Williams. We got some connectivity. We're gonna make this shit right so we can talk about. There's no territory, there's no state, there's no province in the country it's hotter now than Washington, D.C. DC Blacks is on the ground. Eon Williams is on the ground.
I can't hear you.
It's crazy because the crime's in the hood, so they just gonna be patrolling the hood.
Yes. You guys even ask that question? Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes, that's what they're gonna be doing.
That's what a black is it, man.
Get your mic off, Eon. You're moving good, but your mic is off. Okay. Hell yeah. So Donald Trump, he deployed 800 National Guard members, and he put the U.S. Attorney General in charge of DC's local non-federated police department. And we got some coverage from CNN. We're gonna play the coverage until Eon works out the technical difficulties. Man, we're gonna come back. We're gonna tear this motherfucking in half. Let's go.
Here in Washington, our nation's capital, bracing for a Trump takeover. The president announcing today that the federal government has assumed control of DC's Metropolitan Police Department. He also said he's deploying hundreds of National Guard troops. Just moments ago, the mayor, Muriel Bowser, issued her first comments on the matter.
While this action today is unsettling and unprecedented, I can't say that given some of the rhetoric of the past, that we're totally surprised. I can say to DC residents that we will continue to operate our government in a way that makes you proud.
Mayor Bowser responding there to a lengthy news conference in which President Trump characterized DC as a city overrun by crime. He repeatedly called it dirty at one point, called it disgusting. The solution that the president described raises questions about just how far things will go.
Don't mix pink salt with lemon and 2 other ingredients if you don't want to donate your entire wardrobe in less than a week.
See, they fight back until you knock the hell out of them because it's the only language they understand. You can see they want to get at it. And they're standing there and people are spitting in their face and they're not allowed to do anything. But now they are allowed to do whatever the hell they want.
As president, Trump has the authority to control DC's police force for up to 30 days before he would have to seek congressional approval. So now the question is, in the coming month, what's going to change? Mayor Bowser today sounding open to the possibility that, well, the change that comes might not be so bad.
The fact that we have more law enforcement and presence in neighborhoods, that could not, that may be positive if people are, if it's a positive action. So that's what the executive order says.
All right,
Eon, you back with us, man?
Yeah. You hear me?
All right. Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear now. So talk to us, brother. You're on the ground. You're from Washington, D.C. You're on the ground. You're in ground zero of the hottest topic in the land right now. Can you tell us what is a day in the life of a D.C. resident like right now that Donald Trump has sent 800 or so National Guard troops and seized control of y'all police department? What does it look like in D.C. right now?
To be honest with you, them 800 National Guard, they ain't came out yet. But for the last week, in places like, I want to say like the inner city, they done had some police presence. So a lot of people here not used to seeing the ATF, the U.S. Marshals, the FBI, and certain federal U.S. Park Police doing what they call patrol work. So one of the things that I only seen one person in the news mention this, it's really a potentially dangerous and volatile situation, because I think no matter where you're from, I think every adult that know a little bit about the United States and law enforcement knows that United States National Guard, active military, and FBI are not trained for community policing. Just a day ago, before this even hit the fans with taking over the police department, the FBI and them was already doing these patrols that they talking about is going to come, and they shot at somebody. The person who they shot at was supposed to be unarmed. So I'm trying to make a point. I believe that they was in the trenches. And when we say the trenches, it ain't necessarily got to be the projects, but it's that part of town where certain things happen at. I believe that they shot at the person because they was scared and they was nervous. Those are type of things that come when you bring in a whole bunch of people with firearms and they got alphabets, ATF, DEA, FBI, and they doing police work. The local police are local police for a reason. They know the local people.
That's a fact.
You feel me? So that's one of the issues, but it's gonna be a whole lot of interaction between law enforcement and regular people, and some people that don't know what's going on, some people that think that they don't care what's going on. For an example, we got a local law here that let us carry 2 ounces of weed. On a small tip, with the United States Attorney General taking over the police department, that's going to change the way in which the police interact with you about just smoking weed.
Oh, hell no.
What was some of the other things they was doing that led you up? What was some of the other things, DC, that they was doing that led you up to knowing that something was coming? It was a storm brewing.
I got a relative
before they let out the guards.
I got a relative that's like a Donald Trump enthusiast of everything that he's supposed to do. And they was up on this Project 2025, and I can't speak on all the details of Project 2025, but they kept saying if Trump, wins, I know your people keep saying that y'all like Trump, and some of y'all like Trump, because Trump did the Second Chance Act and all these things, and some of your buddies came home, but you're gonna be in store for this and store for that. I try not to really pay no attention, but as certain things started changing here in DC, I started noticing the police doing something totally different. And within the last week, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause you said what's leading up to it. In the last week, the news people here been focusing on Donald Trump saying that we got to do something about the place. The place is dangerous. The place is disgusting. Homeless people by the White House, homeless people by the Capitol. So, I started seeing more of a police presence. But when you start seeing the regular FBI police, a lot of people don't even know that the FBI have a police. Like, have y'all seen the FBI police before? I seen some people that were from out of town that came to DC to visit me, and at the FBI headquarters outside is a bunch of cars that say FBI police. Some people said they had never seen that. Now, those people may be trained to do policing, but your average ATF, DEA, U.S. Marshal ain't trained to walk the streets and walk the beat. So once I started seeing a bunch of them together, I knew something was totally different, and they had been threatening a takeover. Because remember, a lot of people don't fully understand, like all of y'all are from a state, a city that's in a state. So as you grow up, you learn things about city, county, state, local governments. Everything like that is totally different here. So with them taking over the police department, they done really taken on a whole portion, maybe half of running the city. So that's the way that I started seeing certain things change. And just when he first got here, period. I can't really put my finger on nothing like I'm a political expert to say that I knew that this was coming. But a lot of people that know politics said that they saw certain things like this coming.
All right, so I have a question. Go ahead, Juice.
I just want to ask one more. Did they give y'all a curfew? Y'all on a curfew? Is it on the city curfew, a state curfew right now?
Nah, not no curfew for adults, not yet. Now, some kids, juveniles, they had a curfew. I want to say started maybe a couple weeks ago for all type of things that the law enforcement is calling juvenile crime. Now, keep in mind, one of the things that they making this issue that they saying that they taking control of stuff about, one of the issues is carjacking, and they saying that 51% of the carjackings are done by juveniles. But however, the Doge guy, I don't know if y'all paid attention to that. He got whooped real bad in DC trying to stop a carjacker, allegedly. But he wasn't even whooped or assaulted with a weapon. So it's kind of like, just something that I think that they use. And so the Doge guy got whooped real bad in DC. Then another staffer that worked for Donald Trump, if I'm not mistaken, got killed in a carjacking. It's far more situations of old grandmamas and little babies and little kids getting hit in the process of dudes beefing in the streets for them to say, oh my God, this is so bad. So, I just think it's a bigger conspiracy of them taking over the city for some type of reason. But they've done something just now that has never been done in Washington, D.C. before, ever. Now, the National Guards have been deployed before. The federal government, by way of Congress, has taken control of D.C. before in the 1990s with what was called a control board. And I tried to mention a little bit of that when we had conversations about Lawton and the feds before, because that's the reason why there is no Department of Corrections. That's the reason there is no prison for DC dudes, because of those laws that put these things in effect. It's a big ass ball of confusion. If you're really not here, you're really not from here, you had no reason to try to understand it. You get it? Like if I was from Michigan or I was from New York or Houston, I wouldn't have no reason to understand the local governance of the District of Columbia unless I wanted to get into politics or law.
Got you. So I have a question. So it seems that, I saw a news conference where DC's mayor came out, and it appeared at first as if she was expressing her displeasure with the federal government taking over DC's local law enforcement, local police department. And then later in the press conference, she said that in her mind, it might be a good thing in terms of fighting crime. Is that a mixed message by your mayor, or is it an acknowledgement that she believes that what Donald Trump is doing would have a positive impact on the citizens of DC? in terms of helping to fight crime?
Man, I like that question, Dogface, and I ain't just stroking you. I like that question because I saw her talking, and I think that I know her somewhat, even if I know her as a resident. You get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to say I know her personally, although I have met her, but I think I know her approach as a mayor. I think that in a way, she's almost being sarcastic. I think she's saying, I'm not going to get into a battle with Donald Trump. I know he's an egomaniac. I know he's going to do all type of things because him and Congress control the purse strings for the budget of the District of Columbia. So I'm not going to offend him and make him mad, although you haven't heard what she may say in no back room. But I also think ultimately she's saying, okay, motherfucker, y'all think that y'all can control this shit that go on here from the politics to the hood to the regular people? Come on in here. Let me see y'all do it. I think that she knows that the federal government doesn't want to do it, doesn't have the capacity to do it, doesn't know how to do it without killing a bunch of people, for lack of a better term, without creating a 1992 LA riot situation or a 1960-something Martin Luther King assassination situation. That's the only thing the Fed's going to do when they come into DC, because they are not trained in community policing. That's why you have those different levels of law enforcement. So I think the mayor is saying that it's nothing I can say because the mayor fully understands the legal situation that DC is in. In the United States Constitution, there's a part that says no matter whatever happens, Congress and the president got to say so over the matter. She knows that she can't reach that level of being a politician without knowing that. So she can't say but so much, Dogface. I mean, just to answer that question without going too much deeper, I think that's the answer that she has to give from her position. DC is a stepchild of Congress. There's no place like DC in the continental North America. Maybe somewhere like Guam, Puerto Rico is more of a state than DC, in my opinion.
Gotcha. Boogie?
Donald Trump full of shit. This the second place he didn't. The second place he didn't did this. First it was Cali. It don't look like nothing changed at Cali. I don't really think that it's gonna be a change. I don't really think y'all got nothing to worry about. Because after this 30 days, shit gonna go back to normal. So look at Cali. That shit breezed. It breezed over. It breezed over so fast. Ain't nobody even talking about the National Guards in Cali no more.
So why did they do it then? What you think the real purpose of it then? They ain't just doing it for nothing.
Donald Trump got his own personal beef with DC. You remember when they stormed the Capitol? He just on one.
He had to do that.
I'm not a politic type person, but he holding a vendetta, and DC been on this fucking list. Obviously.
So let me ask you a question, Black Eon. So obviously the cornerstone or the principle or the point of this all, and that Trump articulated was because crime had grown so far out of control in the territory known as Washington, D.C., and things had become so lawless, and local government were ineffective, respectfully, when it came to fighting crime. So he's saying that this is something that he had to do in order to reestablish control. Is that how the residents of DC see it? Is crime? Because I'm seeing statistics on CNN and MSNBC where, by and large, overall crime when it comes to violent offenses, drug offenses, and property crimes
went down
across the board. So on the backdrop of that, what the fuck is Trump talking about?
To be honest, Dogface, in that layered question you just asked and the statement that you made, you said everything in there for real. And I say that to say that I don't know what the ultimate goal of it is, because if you quote all the crime statistics that you just quoted, it don't match up. And like I was telling you earlier, they mentioned something about the murder rate. Now, the murder rate is being compared to the 2023 murder rate. Let me just get it together. Being compared to the 2023 murder rate. All those murder rates are low. He said this is the murder rate that is higher than Bogota, Colombia, and all this and all that. When I was growing up in the 90s, just as everybody remember, DC was the murder capital. It was 400 plus murders every year for 2-3 years, 4 years straight. So none of that is true. I think it's just a play to be able to pay the government or pay DC back, as Bruh said, and also to take control for something that may be a little bit deeper. But at the same time, what he says out his mouth is that it's lawless, it's dirty, and it's full of homeless people and rats, real rats. That's what he says. He might say anything.
So being a DC resident, we're used to politicians using trigger words and trigger catchphrases to describe crime.
Dog whistles.
Yeah, absolutely. So as a lifelong resident of DC, when you hear him talk about crime, that's one thing. That's debatable, whether it's up or down, whether local law enforcement has been effective or not effective. But when you hear Trump use things like terms like words like they're dirty, it's dirty. Does that smack of racism to you, or does that's
personal?
Yeah, because when you say a city and it's the people who habitate that city are dirty, when you refer to the city as dirty, as a DC resident,
that's personal.
How does that make you feel?
To be honest with you, Dogface, and I ain't trying to be difficult, I stopped listening to those inflammatory statements that Donald Trump makes, right? When he was talking about Baltimore being rat infested, right? And coming from a New York resident, and I'm not dissing New York, but Donald Trump was a New York resident. That's where he came from before he got his Mar-a-Lago thing in effect, right?
Right.
He shouldn't be talking about rats in a city that we live in. So I just stopped listening to him. Some of them statements just be inflammatory. Are there rats in DC? Yeah, there are rats in DC. Are there homeless people in DC? Yes. But anybody could do a quick Google search of beautiful things in DC from black to white. So, you know, a lot of his stuff, I think it'd be like newspaper editors write titles and headlines to be sensational. I think he makes sensational statements for certain reasons. And some people have even speculated that this whole DC police takeover, he only took over the police department so far, right?
Right.
A lot of people think that this is just a distraction from the Epstein matter. So who really knows when it comes to politics? And I'm not trying to change our conversation into the Epstein matter, but some political experts believe that this is a play.
Yeah, I think that there may be some credibility to that, because it was just revealed, I believe, yesterday when I was watching a report on MSNBC that Donald Trump had over 4,000 money wire transactions between himself and Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
4,000? I believe it was like 4,700 wire transfers over a 5-year period between himself and Jeffrey Epstein. What in the fuck could that have been about?
He got some explaining to do.
All right, so how is life on the ground in DC? You're moving throughout the land right now, right? So what does a day in the life of a DC resident look like right now? Is it a ghost town? Are people still moving around without a care in the world? What's going on the ground?
For me, right? Like I was just telling you, I've been kind of staying out the way for 2 days because I thought I saw what was coming. But my people was just telling me in their travels throughout the city, they not encountered. And I talked to 2 family members. One said as they was driving through work, they didn't see it, they didn't notice it, but they are in different places. Now, some of my dudes from the hood, if you look at their Instagrams, as you know, it's gonna be different from social media to legacy media. Legacy media not showing you when the police got people on in handcuffs and they detaining them illegally, or they doing this and they doing that. So most of those things that are going on, I'm not encountering them firsthand. I'm seeing them on social media for dudes that's outside. I'm not a dude that's staying on the block outside anyway, so I'm gonna be able to avoid some of this stuff. The only way I'm gonna really bump into this this intimidation of law enforcement presence here is going to be through driving. And you know, most of the guys that don't really know what's going on or don't pay attention, they're going to encounter these potentially tragic situations just through smoking outside, drinking outside, or driving your car. But what I do see, I see a whole bunch of unmarked police cars. I mean, not police cars, a whole bunch of unmarked cars with police in them, and they not regular police. So I haven't really seen the DC police trailed by the federal police like I'm seeing on the internet. I haven't seen that myself yet, but within another week, I think it's going to be a whole lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? It's going to be like a whole lot of photo ops of them in town doing things. And in the process, young and old, some people that's not aware or don't take it serious enough is going to get caught up. That's how it's going to be. It's going to be a lot of people to get caught up in the humble.
That's
you know what I mean? But they out and they jumping out, and it remind me of the 90s.
It's a perfect setup. It's
the young niggas that ain't gonna take it serious.
So that's a perfect segue, and I was going to get into that. I'm glad you read my mind. So now we find ourselves in a situation where you have the younger people who are in the hood, the YNs. They've never seen or experienced something like this in their short lifetimes. What should this mean? If you could use this platform to reach out to and talk to the masses of the YNs in the DC, Baltimore area proper, what would be you as an OG, as a person who's been through it all, seen it all, from the youth home to jail to prison? What would be your message to the regular guy, the YNs in the hood, jamming, as they say in DC, right? What would be your advice to them in terms of how to avoid getting caught up in this federalized web?
The main thing I've been thinking, which I guess I could say now, is a lot of us had this mentality of I don't care or so what, but I don't care so what, which I like to call the fuck it syndrome, which I've had for a long time, right? It puts you in a situation where since you don't care, you don't know or don't inform yourself. So to not try to make it sound too sophisticated, I would really, would like for a lot of people to just pay attention to how the police interacts with you. And what I mean by that is, if you live in a community where you interact with the police or they interact with you, I want you to ask yourself, how is that done? Is that done because you stand outside, you hang out, you smoke outside, you drink outside, you drive a car with tinted windows, is your license, registration, and your tag straight? I stopped there without going into too many things, because that's the basic interactions that the police had with people. Traffic stops and smoking or drinking outside, at least where I've been all over the country, right? So if you could limit doing some of those things or do those things in a proper perspective, for an example, in DC, locally, we have the right to have 2 ounces of weed and we can smoke. People think that since that's in effect, that weed is legal and you can walk down the street and smoke weed like a cigarette. Technically, that's like jaywalking. Everybody jaywalks. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people jaywalk and be like, oh, so what? But technically, jaywalking is against the rules. So smoking a blunt or jaywalking down the street is something that we get away with here in DC a lot. But lately, before this even started, when they first started bringing this make beautiful DC or make DC beautiful again from this Donald Trump thing, that was one of their first ways to interact with the people that was in the community. So you got to limit your interaction with the police, and whenever you encounter the police, you need to know your rights and know what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to be doing. So that way, it's going to at least balance out the situation. But I think that they're trying to make examples out of certain things.
Yeah. So let me just tell you this. So I'm not from DC, but I'm from the ghetto, and let me give you layman's translation to what he said. If you on the block and you moving and shaking, go sit your bitch ass down somewhere, right? If you on the block and nigga shut you hear, you know how the rappers say they come into town, they do the promo drops, all traps closed when I come to town. Y'all niggas need to shut all traps down. Crack spots, shut them down. Heroin dens, shut them down. Weed houses, shut that shit down, right? Shut it down, because when they run up on your ass, it's gonna make an example out of you, make you look like the proverbial boogeyman. So what he said, let me translate that for you. Go sit your monkey ass down somewhere, Because when the white man come a knocking, they're gonna make an example out of your motherfucking ass because you're trying to chase a few pennies when you understand that you should be sitting your motherfucking ass down somewhere.
I mean, that's something I ain't really understand as a youngin'. I didn't even know when to sit down. This is a perfect time to find a way to get out the way. You know what I mean? I mean,
but that's why they make sure.
Lately, when I'm saying,
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
But that's why they make sure they separate the youth and the elders. You feel me? They don't want the youngest to kick it with the big homie. They don't want them to have no big homie. They want them to feel cool. It's cool not to have no big homie. So we can't acknowledge them on what we went through, so to prepare them for what they going through to know how to fight the next battle. You feel me?
Hey, Juice, let me ask you a question. When you say they, you make it sound like there's a conspiracy amongst the white man and the government to disengage the older generation with the younger generation so as not to transfer knowledge. Now, Juice, is that what you're
breaking
saying?
that down for me, exactly.
No, I want to make sure I'm clear on what you're saying. Are you saying that it's a conspiracy? The white man has got into the politic of the hood and are actively trying to convince or have convinced the YNs to not listen to the OGs.
Exactly. What the first thing you hear him say?
No.
We ain't got no big homies.
That's what they say. That the white man ain't
say. Yeah.
The white man never
The
said.
white man ain't had nothing to do with that.
He planted the seed. He planted the separation seed. See, it started way before that. It started with the mamas them and the welfare. So they do little things to implicate the separation. So what they tell them, we give you welfare, but you get your baby daddy can't be in the household. You feel me? So it's different things to implement that.
Bro.
What's up, bro?
Hold on, go ahead.
What's your name?
Make your point, Juice.
No, go ahead. He just came in. Let him go ahead.
Go ahead, brother L. What you got to say? What you want to ask?
Oh, I apologize, brothers. I didn't want to be disrespectful. I'm a big fan of you guys. I didn't want to cut anybody's points, but I think that first of all, I want to salute you, brothers, for having this conversation. It's so important that we talk about this because I think this is unprecedented. I watch a lot of the content from the brother Eon yourself. I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Black people all over this country got to have a real conversation right now, because what the brother is doing with this conversation, and I'm just claiming that what the brother's doing with this conversation is just amazing. I'll just make my comments short. What Donald Trump is doing, in my estimation, is just literally a setup punch for the rest of the country. DC has been known for years to people that are not from the Beltway as Chocolate City. It was the bastion for Black excellence. The other one was Detroit. These are the two cities that you knew. This Black government, Black officials, Black legislation, culture, that's what it represents. So these little skirmishes, it's not by accident, man. They've been had a plan for DC because obviously it is a territory. It is not a state. Right. You see, right after that, he's targeting Chicago with Brandon Johnson and our governor here, Pritzker, as well as in California. Now, this is my opinion on the play. He said, I'm gonna go there next. Now, the whole thing is this: if you study history and you look at Roger Taney and the Dred Scott situation. Now, Dred Scott was a slave that said, hey, and I don't know if I cuss, so I'll just be straight, but
how about it?
He said, hey, man, my master went from Missouri to Illinois, a slave state, to a free state. I'm not no goddamn slave no more. So y'all need to figure this out, and sued them people. And Roger Taney, who wrote the majority opinion in the Dred Scott decision, at that time say, we not bound to respect nothing that no nigga is saying. Hey, bro, get up out of here with that. Talk about this states' rights thing. Mm-hmm. What am I saying? Okay, I'm in Illinois, right? This is a liberal state, at least from a legislative standpoint. Mm-hmm. If Donald Trump tries to say, hey man, y'all doing something, we federalizing the guard, y'all off count. And they say, nigga, fuck you, states' rights. You got Indiana right there. You got Missouri right there. He's going to federalize their guards. And then you have the Civil War. That's what's happening right now. He just want to see, first of all, there's a lot of other reasons to it. But he's really just a fall guy, and a fall guy in the sense of they knew, like, hey, bro, this your last term. You all do them Epstein papers. So if you don't do that, we going to slam you on that. Take this script, follow this damn script. I'm not saying there ain't no personal stuff going on, but that's the thing. Now, but this is what he don't know about DC. You got some strong brothers and sisters out there, not just on the street level. I'm talking about in the legislative space, in the black educational space. They gonna go at this thing. What I'm fearful of is an incident happening between some sort of totalitarian government and the brothers and sisters in DC, and it's gonna cause the whole thing to go down. Donald Trump right now, you gotta understand, for him to put his face out here, and I'll wrap my comments up, and I appreciate y'all for listening. He had the whole black community, everybody was rolling with him for the most part in November. You don't crash out by August for no reason. He had to support everybody. Blacks was kind of moderate to him, like, man, we rocking with Trump, you know, at least somewhat. He had a lot of people rally behind him. He was handed that script. He knew his face was going to be dirty, and it just went how it went. So I'm saying that to say, I'm projecting, I'm listening to all the radical white scholars on this. I'm listening to the super radical right wingers that's like Nick Fuentes and all them. And I ain't never seen all them dudes united against Trump. Everybody, and I'm looking like, man, why would they deviate on this guy so quick when they just was calling him Jesus not even 6-7 months ago? It's because, man, dude has been flipped, man. He got the Heritage Foundation behind him, and they're making him. Yeah, it is me from Chicago. What's going on, brother? They making him do that. Now, I'll tell you this, though. He picked a hell of a city with DC. Man, look, I wouldn't wish that on my, because you got black, other than Atlanta, you got black people from all over the country that's in the educational space out there. Howard just had their freshman class coming. You talking civil rights movement level stuff. You got Roland Martin out there. You got, I mean, I'm not agreeing with everybody, but I'm just saying you got some outspoken black people that's in that beltway that's finna be like, okay, this is my Dr. King moment. And if an incident happened and you get on that damn phone and it go on social media and the country see that, there you go. There you go. This could really explode. You got judge, whatever said 14, 15, 16-year-old black kids, we can't touch them. Have you ever heard of, I mean, you would have thought she was Bull Connor up there, homie. It's another level. Not lastly, with the California thing, it was a little different because it wasn't a black or stateside issue in a sense. This was about them coming in to try to remove these quote unquote illegals. I'm gonna be real, that community didn't stand for it. They was fighting with them people out there. I'm not on the boots in Cali, I got a lot of family and stuff out there, but this is different because this is not about immigration. This is about black Americans in a city, the nation's capital, that we heard for years was Chocolate City. And you gonna sit in the federal, man. Ooh. Hey, listen, this is big. So I appreciate y'all listening to me, but it's serious, man. I think that this ain't no, it's just gonna blow over. None of that. This was a first step, and it ain't about reforming no crime. You already see the statistics. The crime is low. The crime is low. It ain't about that. It's, and think about the cities he said he was gonna send to all black mayors.
Of course it is. Of course. Let me ask you a question, brother. DC Blacks, Eon Williams. So does it feel you're in DC every day, except when you're on your travels? Does it feel like, I'm asking you to put your finger on the pulse of the city of DC? Does it feel like that crime? Does it feel like that the crime and the violence and all the things that negatively impact the city? Does it feel like in the air? Does it feel like DC is a smoother place now than it was a couple of years ago? Does it feel like crime is down to you and you're there every day?
To me, yeah, it feels like that. but I'm only one person, and I'm probably speaking for the subculture. For your regular people, what I hear is different. Some people feel, unsafe. Some people feel like crime is out of control. Some people feel like disrespect is rampant. And then some people just learn how to live in urban areas. You dig what I'm saying? And what I mean by that is that if you walking down the street, which you had the right to do, if you walking down the street on your iPhone and your $90,000 chain on and your, $2,500 shoes on, and you in Georgetown, you might be able to get away with that. But if you in the hood somewhere, you shouldn't be on your phone bull jiving like that. You should be paying attention. So sometimes things happen because of crimes of opportunity. You got people that's starving, don't know where their next meal coming from, and you walk past them in a $2,500 coat. Guy that never had that coat know how much that coat costs and know for sure that he could get a couple dollars for it. So sometimes because the poverty and the resources or lack of resources is an issue, it's going to cause situations like that. I mean, if we take it from how do you feel and do you feel safe, and just take it to another issue of homelessness, I'm not going to get into the cause of homelessness, but that's one of these issues that Trump's saying he's going to attack. That still means attacking people who are less fortunate. It ain't too much you can change with people that are less fortunate, whether they are, now let me say it a different way. Some of these programs out here that's out here to stop gun violence and certain type of violence things, they're approaching us as a health type of issue, like a sickness almost, right? And if you look at that like that and agree with some of those people who spend the money for those things, if it's a sickness and it can be helped by resources and you stopping the violence, right? That no resources are there for the people who have nothing, but they have a weapon. You got a dude that don't have a job, don't have a hustle, but can find a weapon. It's a whole lot of more issues that got to be addressed for people going to feel safe regardless. For people that's going to ignore the matter, there's a lot of other issues that need to be addressed before a person is going to feel safe in DC. So those that may have enough money, have enough going on, they may can live in a way where they never encounter some of these problems. But for regular people and below, I think they might feel a little type of way. They're not gonna walk outside and flash no, nice items. They know they might get taken here. That's DC. But DC is an urban area. Certain things happen in urban areas, man.
All right, let's go up top with this conversation for a second. Juice, Boogie, is this an overlay for underplay? Because we know that in the world of politics, nothing happens just because. It's obvious some hidden agenda that's about to be revealed without necessarily having without having necessarily been explained. What the fuck is really going on here behind the scenes that we're not paying attention to? And I'm asking that question because I'm saying that Black people, by and large, as a whole, we always focus on bullshit while people who are in positions of power and influence use our distracted minds to initiate policies and procedures that are going to have a negative impact on us. What the fuck is really going on here?
Think about what they just did. Before this, they sent ICE to go rile up the Hispanics. You feel me? And then what they do, they pinged us against the Hispanics to see where we unite with them and how they back. They made sure that was the topic, and they made sure it was separation there. You feel me? And then what they do, they turn around and stick an essay on Tory Lanez out the blue. You feel me? So they did the divide and conquer. And then now what they do, they set up shop in DC and court and call martial law on them semi. You feel me? So they doing a test run to see how the people gonna react to these strategic moves that they setting in place. Why? Because they starting a war. You feel me? They starting a war. So now they got to lock this down because they can't have us being allies with the people they starting a war with. They know it's a lot of secret plans over here. Go ahead, Big L. What you trying to say?
Oh yeah. I just want to chime because I know the brother. I want to give you deference. If you was born in 2010, right now you're 15 years old. In 5 years you'll be 20. That's Generation A. That's what we call the YN. There is no systemic plan for these young people by government to have any entrance into society in a meaningful way. You're looking at the advent of AI. They say in a year, 70% of the manual workforce will be gone. What are these kids going to do? You already seeing you ain't did no. I mean, I'm just saying it for real. There's nothing for them.
They not prepared.
They not, but even on top of that, not to negate you, socially, where the skating rinks at, where the parties at. I mean, they literally in Chicago, they literally outside. They don't have a plan for Generation A young black men and women. At the same time, baby boomers are dying. Tone talks about this. Where's that wealth going? Where's those houses? So we're about to have a generation that won't have money, and we're not adequately preparing them for the skills and the advent of AI. I think at this point they're just getting ahead of it because they realize, hey, you know what? This was a white Christian country. We eliminated slavery. At this point, we had, and the deportation will never work. I mean, going to the hotel. I was at a party downtown Chicago with a lot of popular entertainers, and the way they was treating the Mexicans in there, I mean, you would have thought they were slave. They had them cleaning the floor, cleaning slop up all the floor. They don't want to remove that slave class. Go to a hotel and see who cleaning your hotel. I mean, this is how they looking at this. But
slavery was never abolished. That's the whole thing. It is the smoking mirror. You feel me? So they do got a plan for the YNs. They go those who they don't want to follow slavery all over again. They go put them back in incarceration. You feel me? That's what they setting them up for. From our entertainers, from the young entertainers to the street YNs. I agree. They got a plan. They ain't doing this for no reason. They got an end game.
Because I'm looking at every sector, from the street nigga to the collegiate guys in higher academia. Talk to a black kid to go to Virginia Tech. Talk to a black kid to go to UCLA. I'm talking about in real scientific fields, electrical engineering. I'm talking about where they really doing something massive. They all feeling it. You could have a kid that might call it for a gang and he got some trap spots, and talk to a kid that's in the electrical engineering department at UCLA or Cal Berkeley. They got the same issues right now. And we got to figure something out for that. I think that, to be honest with you, and the brother Dollface said it, he said, man, what's the underlay for the overplay? Truthfully, right now in society, in the world, black culture is massive. I think with the FBA movement, we have alienated ourselves from other blacks on the planet right now. We got to have a real conversation about our continuity as a people moving in the next 25 years. I'm not seeing it. Right now, you got people that think Lil Baby, and I love Lil Baby, that's one of the guys, that he is more important to
you ain't got to prefix what you saying by trying to.
I'm trying to be nice, but you know what I mean.
He'll bust their head, bro. We ain't got
I didn't know I could let.
We have young black men and women.
Talk your shit.
We have young black men and women who listen to entertainers and athletes as if they were Mega Evers and motherfucking Malcolm X and Mr. Farrakhan and whoever else. The world of academia and intellectual thought has been replaced by sport and play. And 100%. So you have young people who don't understand the difference between sport and play and entertainment and can't differentiate between what's entertainment and what's reality. And when I asked the question about what the overlay or underplay, when I asked that question, it was really a rhetorical question because I was online earlier today and I really kind of like took a belt to the city of Detroit. And I said, hey, listen, if y'all waiting for the white man to create a plan and to feed that plan to you, and the purpose of that plan is to be for you niggas to save yourself from yourself. Y'all gonna be awake, motherfucker. At what point in time do black people come to realization that the only saving grace you're going to have is the saving grace that you create for yourself? If you're waiting for the people who we all recognize are our open enemies to give you a plan to save and resurrect yourself and your people and to support and to build your own communities, you're gonna be awake, motherfucker, because that's not the fucking plan.
Hey, you mind if I chime in? You've given me some. I give you this, right. I had a conversation yesterday with the brother Peasy from Detroit, right.
Mhm.
And I called him. I said, because I know him through my artist, right. And I'm like, man, you know what? In Detroit, y'all wear the Cartier buffs. That's like popular. So all over the country, people wear these glasses because they see a lot of the guys from Detroit do it, right. I say, man, you know what's funny? I was at this AI conference in Las Vegas, and all the young white and Asian professionals are engineering smart glasses. But I didn't see no black people. I mean, it was like the goddamn salesman 1945. What if somebody black say, hey, you know what? I'm going to do an urban version of these smart glasses. And I mean, they literally just got ChatGPT and they look like regular glasses, but they could give you information.
I got them on right now.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, but just a higher level of that, but just like, yo, okay, give those to the kids, stuff like that. And the brother hit me back. He was like, man, I believe it. But I'm like, you don't even got to spend the money. You got to know it right. The agents just front them to you for market share because the technology exists already. He was like, man, bro, that's beyond my pay grade. You know, and I was just like, and not to knock the brother, I'm just saying, you know what you just said resonates with me. You know what I'm saying? And everybody don't got the same endeavors, but we don't have enough of our people in leadership thinking about the continuity of this thing moving forward, man. That's why Nipsey Hussle was so special. You know what I'm saying? Guys like that realize, hey, how can I build the collective? If I was in charge of Black America right now, I ain't gonna lie, I would shut everything down for 2 weeks and say, let's go to every high school on every side of town and shut it down and figure out who could do what, who could cook, who could sew, who could do AI, who was the killers in the neighborhood, who was the niggas that got power. Like, let's just take an inventory internally of what we really got right now so we can make a goddamn move, because we don't even know. Like, right now, we want to write the YNs off. If you aggressive enough to go spray some gun and hit some kid, man, maybe, hey, we need to get you in some type of self-defense or something. It's like we're not aggregating the talent right. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. We writing the YNs out of what Dr. Collins said. They're the most important, fearless generation we've ever produced. We got.
I'm glad you said that. See, the Europeans know that what they do. Who Google and Apple and all them hire? What they go hire them white kids, them Asian kids.
They empowering
10, 11 years old and make them millionaires as kids. Why? Because they brain work different as kids. They into developing. You feel me? So that brain, that when you young, suck up everything as a sponge, and you more into trying to create when you young. You try to figure more things out. You feel me? Mentally and physically. You feel me? So we the only ones that our generation and be like, because I deal with a lot of young guys. First thing they be like, man, I ain't got time to be kicking with them young people. They our future. We got to make sure they right. How we not gonna make sure they right, or we go be doomed as a race? You feel me? I think it's gonna be with them.
Let me chime in, right? So listen, I'm 53 years old, right? I've had some powerful conversations from the penitentiary to the streets. In prison, I've had some of the most productive intellectual conversations with human beings that a person could ever want to have, right? Since I've been out of prison 16, 17 years now, I've ran across some very, very astute and brilliant Black men and women. I want to say this, and I want to be as respectful as I possibly can, but I have to say it like it is.
Gotta make it plain.
Whose responsibility is it to set out a plan, to map out a strategy, for the advancement, inclusion, and survival of Black people, of brown people, of yellow people, of red people. Whose responsibility is it to do that? When you think about what we are saying on the backside of it, that racism, this country was built on racism. It was built on white or European or Caucasian elitism. If we know that and we understand that, then we know and we understand that white people are never, ever going to purposefully put us in a position where we are going to be able to take advantage of the true definition of what the American dream is supposed to be. They're never going to help us help ourselves in a meaningful way that doesn't put them in charge of or put them at an obvious advantage over us as a people. So if we ourselves as a people, as a community, if we don't recognize and then start to put things in practice, and I don't see how that can happen because we are a people who are truly divided amongst ourselves. The plan that the whole the Willie Lynch, the ideology, that shit worked on us like nobody's business. Black people, we hate each other. We don't like each other. We don't like each other. We hate each other. We don't work together. We don't feel like we have a common cause. How can we ever move as a nation of people when we don't believe in each other, we don't understand each other, and we don't support each other? How? We can beat this shit like a dead horse until we blue in the face. But Black people have been successfully subjugated from a psychological and emotional standpoint to the point right now. If I'm lying, tell me I'm lying. You can take every Donald Trump supporter off the face of this earth right now. You can take every skinhead, every AB, every brotherhood for those who are not inclined, even in the penitentiary. You can get rid of everybody who hates Black people, including the Indians and some of the motherfucking Nigerians too, because Nigerians hate American niggas worse than the Ku Klux Klan. But I ain't gonna go there, right? If you remove every human being from outside of our culture who don't want to see us take advantage of what this world has to offer in a positive, meaningful way, you can get rid of everybody who opposes Black people. And because we have been so successfully, psychologically conditioned to hate each other, we're still going to attack each other. We talked about the chocolate city like DC. The Black population in DC ain't worried about no Aryan nation. They ain't worried about no neo-Nazi skinheads. The Black population of a DC, Baltimore, Philly, Detroit, Chicago, we ain't worried about no skinheads. We just ain't no motherfucking Selma, Alabama. We from chocolate cities. We ain't worried about no white person coming in doing a motherfucking thing to us. Our biggest concern, DC's Blacks, Eon Williams' biggest concern is somebody who looks just like him trying to knock his motherfucking head off for little or nothing. Good brother in Chicago. Your biggest concern, your biggest fear is not some white person, some innocuous white person coming with the Ku Klux Klan mask on trying to do something to you. Your biggest concern is a motherfucker who look and sound and grew up with the same experience you have or had trying to do something to you. I talked about Detroit and Detroit being a chocolate city earlier in the podcast that was separate from this. And I talked about how you can be born and raised in the city of Detroit and have almost no interaction with white people except the white people you see in a police car, a fire engine, an EMS truck. You can literally grow up in Detroit and not know nothing about white people whatsoever.
No, you're right. You're right.
So,
you're definitely right.
I know I was a little long soliloquy, but
no, that's it. That's right.
So listen, bro, listen. We have been so divided and we have been conquered, literally, and to the point to where the Black intellectual think tank is non-existent. It exists, but the youth are not listening to our intellectuals. The youth are listening to some stupid ass fuck boy ass rap nigga or some hyper illiterate Diddy baby oil rubbing ass athlete or singer. They ain't listening to this conversation right now. They ain't even gonna remember we had this conversation.
Oh yeah, y'all want to chime in. I think it's important to give both ends of it. You right, but I think we are in a very, very unique position. And I'm not gonna come with, man, we're gonna keep the hope and all that. Like, if you look by the numbers right now, Europeans in America, that birth rate ain't looking too good. Japanese as well. They know this. That's why they trying to get their last roll off. Because listen, for kids under that was born from like 05 now, the country already majority non-white. So they what's the guy named Joe Biden said, hey man, get with the Mexican because they got more numbers than y'all because they coming up here, and this country we doomed. It's gonna be minority white European. So I just think at this point, like you said, yeah, we ain't gonna all we ain't gonna all be no one united front. It ain't gonna happen. We just got to get past that. But a overwhelming majority could come together. We could get something together for the collector. And I understand that. I just know that you're not gonna knock on doors and get everybody under one concept. It ain't gonna never happen.
Let me say one more thing, and I'm gonna let you guys have it. So I have friends in who across the local political spectrum in the city of Detroit and in greater metropolitan Detroit, from Oakland County, Macomb County. So listen, they told me stories about how even as the minority population in the metropolitan area, Arabs and Chaldeans, right? They have the smallest numbers, but when it comes to financial resources, they are 100 times more powerful than Black people who are similarly situated in this area. That I had people who work for the city council who talk about how all Arabs and Chaldeans don't get along, right? But they understand that they have a common interest in terms of the advancement of their people as a whole. Black people, we don't have during the days of segregation from slavery up until Reconstruction, up into the Jim Crow and all that. So we understood who our enemy was. We understood that we had a common goal because we were in the same communities. Now, Black people don't feel like they have anything in common with other Black people outside of the color of our skin. And that color of our skin is not a strong enough unifying bond to make motherfuckers love on each other, understand each other, want to help, want to aid and assist each other. And it certainly doesn't give us a sense of being one common union. So I'm saying these white folks gonna continue to do what the fuck they want to do. And white people are quickly becoming the minority in this country, but that makes them even more dangerous.
Yeah, 100%. They facing the mortality. The most dangerous, to piggyback off you, OG, the most dangerous entity right now in America is, I would say, a millennial white Anglo-Saxon male. Because what do? And I'm not being racist. I love white people. I get money with people. But if you go right now in the middle of Kentucky at a goddamn 7-Eleven, if that white man don't have college football, he ain't in the NFL, he ain't doing no AI shit. Like, what are they producing for the masses of society? That's what the elite white power structure is dealing with. That damn, we told all these white folks, shit, at least you better than a nigga. And then now you got LeBron James and these niggas making $250 million. You just, what's that boy out there in at the quarterback out there in DC, Daniels, them niggas. This boy ain't even 25 multi-million. They looking like, man, I thought this was the white man's nation. You didn't let these niggas in. They getting money. Not all of them, but we got these entities, these figures. And they looking like, you know what? Shit. Listen, this some real shit. They feel like they know they owe the niggas. They definitely owe their own people. They like, fuck it, let's just give, we don't want to pay none of their ass. When all them niggas talking that reparation shit, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think you need a big unified situation. Look at the civil rights movement. They had kids up out there marching. When Dr. King sent them goddamn kids to get bid, they saw that on TV. Them nations were like, man, y'all tripping. Y'all talking all this peace shit, and y'all running this motherfucker like a death camp. Y'all got German shepherds biting little black girls and hitting old black women upside the head. What the fuck? They don't even want no money from y'all. What the fuck?
Good brother. Listen, black people are. I'm gonna.
No, go ahead.
Black people are so miseducated. I'm gonna use some words that I want you to interchange them how you want to. Black people, by and large, they're so disengaged from our history. As recently as the civil rights era, which was 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Black people, young black people now, are so disconnected from understanding how it is we got to where we are right now. They don't see it. They don't understand it. They don't appreciate it. They don't value it. So it's almost like when you look at the relationship, the dynamic between black men and black women of all age groups right now in 2025, there's so much distrust amongst black men and black women. And that's the foundation of any community that you ever would hope to build. Any cohesiveness between black people has to start with the reestablishment and the relinking of the relationship and the love bond between black men and black women. When you look at the T-app, did they have a T-app in Chicago?
Yeah, it's everywhere.
The T-app everywhere, right?
Hey, I was on it.
I bet you was.
They didn't say nothing too bad, but it was a lot of.
And I'm mad. I'm mad. I just knew I was gonna be on the T-app.
That nigga baby. He said they ain't say that too bad.
I wasn't on there though.
They got a male version now.
Let me tell you something, brother. At the base of any community worth talking about has to start with any community development. Listen, if we can't even develop a genuine understanding with our women as a people, at what nation do you know in the history, in the annals of time, has ever been considered a great nation who couldn't even formulate an understanding with the women?
I mean, just me being a nerd, the Mongols, they just killed everybody. They say, fuck it, we just gonna kill it. But I get what you're saying. The family is the basis for this whole thing to work. Right. It's the basis.
So my point to you is this: how can we as a people, and I'm just gonna make it plain, how can we as a people ever hope, when you think about our future, when you think about the projection, when you think about the scale of what we can do, we know we can do all kinds of shit. We know we can do it. As individual thinkers, we know of people of substance and of rational, reasonable, a reasonable level of intelligence who have just a basic understanding of what history is. We know that we can do all kinds of shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we can't even listen, I mentioned the T-app for a reason. The T-app probably wasn't invented by a black person.
It wasn't a white guy from Austin,
Texas,
homosexual gentleman. He made it, and so it was all white homosexuals who made that app.
So a white homosexual from Austin, Texas, created a T-app. Don't surprise me, but I ain't even gonna go there. And black people, you don't see Chaldeans, Arabs, Vietnamese, Chinese, Koreans, South Island Pacificers. You don't see Italians, Irish.
Cook, that's his name. This is the gentleman who made the T-app.
He look like the motherfucker on Microsoft, don't he?
I love Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I'm just saying that. It might be his love child, right? So listen, black women. I just wanted to say this, and I hate to dominate the conversation, so y'all cut me off whenever y'all want to. Please do. Black women, they
It's fucking evil.
they reveled at the when they heard T-App, what's that? Oh, you can expose a motherfucker without saying anonymously. There are no other race of people, nationality of people who were drawn to the T-App, an app that was created to expose men.
Mm-hmm.
There's no group of women who celebrated the invention of the T-App like Black women. Black women were busting nuts when they heard that there was an app where they could anonymously expose their men.
Yeah.
Nobody took to that shit like Black women. So my point is this: when you have a dynamic like that, where we are so against each other to the point to where our women will jump on an app created by a white gay male from Austin, Texas, and they have utilized the T app more than any other nationality. I don't know this to be a fact.
No, that's it. That's true. We made it number one.
How can we ever be a nation of productive people when we can't even build a cohesive relationship with our women, and everybody outside the Black community knows that we can't do it?
I'll be honest with you. I go back to history. Look at the Moors in Spain. I mean, we have to take that approach. That's why I hear a lot of people knock the passport bros, but for the continuity of our race, I think it is very important that Black men in America start, and they're doing it, have a global viewpoint on this whole thing. I mean, look at the stats. I believe that women outnumber men 8-1 right now. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I mean, I'll just be honest with you. If you look at phenomenon like Afrotech, it's another one in Atlanta. Last year was in Houston. I mean, you had dudes that could have any woman they wanted. Well, let the brother speak, because I know you've been waiting.
No, but listen though. Let's be clear.
Are you
Passport bro.
hold on, bro.
Listen.
To give up on Americanized Black women.
No. I cut my.
That's cool. Look, it's still gonna be the same if you bring that bitch over here. She's gonna be Americanized.
But when I said American,
she's gonna be Americanized, and she ain't coming back.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking about is this. See, let's not look at it from the traditional passport bro lens, like, oh, I'm marrying for love. Let's just talk about from the listen. White families marry for political reasons. Like, I'm just looking at it from that standpoint. And you look at, okay, how do I ensure that my bloodline, the continuity of my loins as a Black man, continues through these annals of time? Let's not even talk, whether this bitch gonna do whatever. That's I won't say it's irrelevant because it's your point. That's an alternate point. What I'm saying is this: is right now, truly, I know a lot of men that don't desire. You saw Brother Paul Pierce say, I really don't desire to have a marriage, a traditional marriage. I want to be able to establish myself and be able to move in this space. Kevin Samuels was very dangerous, because what Kevin Samuels did is explain to Black women what white society views them as in relation to what value is. Like right now, with this DEI thing, you look at the report, 300,000 Black women lost their job, all in the DC Beltway. Prince George's County is the richest county
in the country
for Black people. So what is that the signal of? Right now, those positions that people thought they had on that side are diminishing, and it's going to keep going that way. Black men could take their USD and go anywhere across the world. And like you said, brother, if you make good decisions, I wouldn't be fearful of bringing a woman over here Americanized. At the end of the day, if it doesn't go, continue to move forward. I don't think that should stop black men from having a global mentality, not necessarily for prostitution and go get a chick for $50 and have your way with it. I'm talking about the
That's what Boogie talking about. That's Boogie's a savage.
But she only go
That
turn
ain't even
up
what I.
to,
That ain't what
she
I was
only
talking
go
about.
but for
No, I'm talking in general.
But for the most part, she only gonna consume what you tag her around, what you put her what you affiliate her with. She gonna grasp off some of her own, but if you affiliate her with that, it's like having a child. A child only picks up bad things from what they taught. Kids pick up from what they taught.
Listen. Black women, by and large, their mentalities.
No, he said woman bring a woman from another country.
I get you, but the passport mentality is this, just so we're on the same page. The passport mentality is, hey, black man, listen, bro, the passport mentality was born out of black American, African American men feeling like black women are unmanageable and unserviceable and have been programmed to be against us in such a way that we could never be fruitful and successful and multiply with them. So the whole passport bro mentality is, hey, if the sisters from America who've been conditioned and Americanized and corrupted by the lack of positive male role models and the lack of father and grandfather figures, if they don't work for you, go get you a bitch from Colombia. They're Afro-Colombian. Go get you a woman from Peru. She's African Peruvian. Go get you somebody from a culture where the women still look up to, honor, and respect their men. Go get you one of them. That's where the whole passport bro mentality
comes from. I don't think nothing wrong with that. I think
I know some listen, one of my guys, his name is Jamel. Jamel is one of the most powerful people in the world of entertainment. He has traveled the world from Phuket, Thailand to Colombia. Right? He don't fuck with nothing black American at all. He said they're the most disrespectful, the most disloyal, the most disingenuous creature on the face of this earth, and he's a successful black man who travels the world with some of the biggest entertainers in the world of entertainment, not just black entertainment, but
in general, yeah, and anybody in that space.
Because he says that black women in America are so programmed to go against black men that he said he don't got time to try to raise or groom or reprogram nobody. So that's where the whole passport bro shit come from. So when we say, and let's initiate the passport bro mentality, that means that we are effectively saying, expand your horizons, because what we have as a pool or of women, they're gonna be against us. They're gonna move against us.
I think that nothing is a monolith, right?
Nothing is.
But when I'm hearing what you're saying, OG, and life ain't what we want it to be, it's what it is. Racism, white supremacy, Jim Crow, these situations from slavery, these stories. I went to the University of Illinois, man. We had to read them slave narratives for class. That shit it'll break your fucking heart to hear what great grandma and great grandma went through and all that stuff. And it transitioned to a point, and black women still held us down in the moments. I'm not gonna point fingers. I don't know where the shift changed, but I'll be honest with you. By and large, most black women in America are not cooperative in a team building format with young millennial Gen Z, Gen Y, Gen A black men. And they tired of it, man. Like, they are seriously tired of it. This ain't a bashing black woman type of thing, but I think right now, when we at war, I mean, look at when you basically got DC about to be overran. I truly believe that young black men should have a more global approach to dating, finance, historical approaches and stuff. And I'm not a Pan-Africanist by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think we need to have a more global approach. I know in cities like Miami, where it may be a more mixed, New York, people have different. I'm from the city of Chicago. Most of our people from Mississippi. So, you know, a lot of us, I remember when I started being around people that weren't African American primarily, it was a hard time adjusting to them. You just want to chill. And then you start growing and say, damn, well, I could be around this woman and it don't got to be sexual. I could just do some work or be some casual, whatever the case may be. Like black men have been, I mean, most black people, let's be real, most black people, this the whole thing about segregation that I don't understand. It's like we did all of that and we still be around niggas all the time. Nations gather. You see Trump talking to the Chinese. You see the Chinese with the Germans with the. We are so compartmentalized. That's why we truly. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'll shut it down. We need. I'm not necessarily. I'm for reparations. I don't think it's gonna happen like that. But we need some true repair for that slavery system that them Europeans put down. I'm not talking about the Spanish. I'm not talking about the other groups. I'm talking about them Anglo-Saxon, British, English Civil War vets. When they came up out of that and put that system down here and did that internal breeding, that got to be really studied. Not the roots part. I'm talking about that systemic part because it got us such in a twist. Like that Willie Lynch thing, whether they say it's true or not, we cannot recover from that. We got a lot of black women and black men. I can't see us getting out of this next 20 years with the YN culture, with the sexy reds, and what black women perceive as.
But that's where it started. You said it right there. That's the whole key. What you said. The YNs. If we reach the youth, if the youth wake up, if we get one of the youth that's popular to wake up, that's how you change the momentum. You feel me? Because they follow each other. They not go follow me and Dogface. L said they not go follow us. We too old. You feel me? But if we get one of them youngest, see, even when we did have the leaders, the Black Panthers, Huey P. Newton, all them, they was kids. People don't even realize that. When they started the Black Panther Party and all that, them boys was 15, 7 to 17 years old. Well, none of them grown. You know what I'm saying? So it's always been about the youth can make the change.
But what was so important about that is, I just keep it real with you. Shit. I think about, let's say Huey Newton, at a certain point, they like, man, I'm not finna be no nigga saying boy. I'm like it that heat had to be there for them to make that move. A lot of it was this black professor. He was
and
like,
you know what? That heat there with our youngest, but they got them generating that energy towards each other.
I disagree, big bro. I disagree. The heat ain't there because niggas think it's sweet. Niggas feel like, okay, I could watch the Chiefs and the Rams play. I could play Xbox. It ain't white supremacy ain't that bad. I can go to the TikTok. That's how they thinking. Like they
right,
ain't
okay,
the real
white supremacy. In that aspect.
They didn't see the real. Listen, they didn't
when
see
he say heat. When the brothers say heat, he mean that society forced black people to congregate and to coalesce with each other because society wasn't an open and inviting place for us. So we had to parlay with
and
each
that's
other.
the thing. Like niggas, you better go up, nigga. You looking at me? We're like, we was like, that's the whole thing about in truth that we got to talk about the American South from a realistic standpoint, because I look at Ray Dalio, and Ray Dalio do all the financial reports and stuff. And he had a report on slavery. He said, man, that slavery system they put down, that shit it wasn't even no economically viable system because it created no customers, because it was just pure extraction. So now you got people thinking that, oh, we literally are over these motherfuckers for all these years to the point where it was no more money being made by white people. And the majority didn't get money like that. But the fact is like they really was like, you know what? At this point, we not even making no money. We just beating these niggas into submission. I want to talk about this to the point where in Brazil, you had what you call the Confederados, where these motherfuckers left and went to Brazil and ran a whole slavery system for another 20 years that wasn't about no money. It was just a death camp where they was killing niggas. That's a whole nother conversation. But the point I'm trying to make is, that heat led to black innovative thought. Because you got to think, when you got heat on you like that, it's like every move you make got to be above and beyond. We had some of the best shit. The literacy rate from black people from 1865 to goddamn 1890, 1900 something was like, it was like 30, it went up to 90. That's genius level. We got literate in damn the whole, I'm talking about period. So I'm saying that to say is that these niggas ain't feeling no heat for real. I'm talking that heat with them damn dogs who's out there and little
Right.
black girls get blowed up in churches and shit. Imagine you a church motherfuckers get blowed up. Like them white folks was stepping about what they believe. They was killing, murdering, raping about what they believe. I'm talking about in that 1930s to 60s era when they felt that shit was gonna be repealed. Oh,
hold
my
on,
bad.
brother. So SAS Palm says stereotyping and profiling all black women and black men, you sound like the enemy. Let me answer that. I'm gonna leave your comment up. To say niggas like chicken, it may sound racist depending on who say it, but niggas do like chicken.
Facts. And then you said, and we said nothing is a monolith. So that's just a lie. We said nothing is a monolith. Like, is the brother frozen?
I don't know. It's dog froze. Yeah.
It's me. I'm here.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now you
dog. Oh, yes. You back.
I'm back. So listen.
Yeah.
Having a frank, open, unencumbered conversation about the truths that exist in terms of the black male, female interpersonal relationship. Having a frank, open conversation, free of distraction, free of game playing and word games. That is not stereotyping. That is not profiling. That is putting the truth of what our situation is on the floor for open discussion. It's a healthy discussion because we as black men and black women have a problem. We don't respect, appreciate, love, convalesce, coalesce, and we certainly don't peacefully exist with each other. If you think I'm lying, look at any black community across this country and look at the condition of the niggas they're in.
100%.
What the fuck are you talking about?
And you may not be fucked up, but we fucked up.
Yeah, it's a group. It's a group dynamic.
Hey, listen, hey, Brother L said the passport bros. That flew over the majority of y'all, not y'all as in panelists, that flew over the majority of the audience's head. What is the passport bros? The passport bros, it is an active collective of men, black men, who have national symposium conferences, who travel the world and who are promoting and propagating black men. If you feel like that the black women in America, who are your natural counterparts from a historical point of view, if you feel like they have been conditioned and programmed against you so much so to where you feel like you can't become your best self with a mate, then go and choose a mate from some other nationality or culture. Fuck that means fuck black women. The passport bros ain't fucking with no daughter of the former slave master who's been conditioned and groomed by white America.
Woo! And that's what we not talking about. Like, that's what this really is. It is so powerful what you just said. And man, I'm not gonna lie, man, it's some really great black American women out here, man. They really are. But I'm telling you, bro, by and large, the toxic nature of what's really going on is just profound. Now,
I want to have no. I want to have you come back tomorrow.
Absolutely.
And I want to have a conversation about the whole passport bro movement. I want to be able to play some videos from YouTube because that's a conversation. that
That's
I've
a big
never really
conversation.
heard discussed
For real.
No,
on
I'm gonna give you the other end of it that's even more powerful. You got the female part, right? Affordable housing. Bro, listen,
We know that. I've
remote
seen
work, all of that. Let's talk the facts. I'm in the city of Chicago. Detroit fares a little better. LA is outrageous. New York is insane.
insane.
Well, if you like I said, if you were born in 2010, you are 14 or 15 years old right now. In 5 years, you will be 20 years old. Where y'all gonna live? You're not gonna make 3 times the rent.
No, you're not.
If you look at Chicago, look at LA, look at certain places, and if y'all correct me if I'm wrong, they are pricing niggas out. So the babies is playing with the CPNs, playing with the pros. If you in the street, you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And now they putting in what these is like about to be federal offenses. Are you playing with this fraud and stuff? So right now, I'm looking like, damn. It's been a massive campaign. It's been 2 campaigns. It's been a domestic campaign and an international campaign. Let's talk about the domestic. They are pushing all the babies to Houston, to all right in that little area. Rent $1,200 for a 4-bedroom. I'm going to uproot my life. It's like how Atlanta was in the 90s. I'm gonna go to Atlanta, restart my life and all that.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening. Is a lot of people are leaving these places where in Detroit, Coleman Young, man, put it down. In Chicago, Harold Washington. In LA, you got I forget the what's the man, the black man's he a legend. Y'all know what I'm talking about. From the 80s, he was big. These is black mayors that put it down.
Oh, where was he from? DC? Where's he from?
No, I'm not talking Marion Barry. I'm talking
Barry,
about
yeah.
from LA. LA,
Okay.
you know what I'm talking about from LA.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
I forget the brother name. Light skinned brother, good hair.
Hold on, LA black man. I wanna make this point. Damn, what was his name? Tom Bradley. That was his name, Tom Bradley. Mayor Bradley. But the point I'm trying to make is that these is places, if you look at the history, if you look at these movies, they let you know when black people came in here, man, nigga, you better go on this side. And we got in the power in these places. And now we just giving them up. Niggas like, I'm going down to Mississippi again. And all these places where it lacks infrastructure because they ain't had shit since. Listen, when white folks say, okay, we can't do it, they got up out of there or they died. So where's the infrastructure money coming from? I'm looking at these countries, man. Listen, bro, if you black, and this is a part of the passport brother movement, take your USD and you got to go someplace where you can live. Now, let's talk about the international part. If you go on goddamn Instagram or TikTok or whatever, you got brothers saying, man, I'm living in Phuket, Thailand, or I'm living in shit, my rent is $2. And I'm living like LeBron James. And young black millennials in city, you could go to any of the videos, like, man, I'm living in this apartment for $312. So the thing is, it's like it's a concerted effort to remove us from these power centers. Detroit is a power center. You right on that damn water. Chicago a power center. LA is a power center. And they running all these black people, especially young black men, back to these southern areas. They're getting flooded out of everything. We got to have a real conversation, man. Do we really want to go back to the South? And with all them damn problems, all that shit that we know we can't, that show you how a few niggas just did a big U-turn. We was up north, we suffered. I remember in Chicago, you got certain areas where black people couldn't go in. Now they there, and then now niggas talk, I'm finna go to Texas. Bro, that's an insult to your grandma. They could have not got hit upside the head with a damn, you know what I'm saying? So now niggas want to go back.
They left them niggas in slavery, which spawned Juneteenth. Them hunkers like, oh, don't tell them niggas they ain't in slavery no more. That's where the whole Juneteenth thing comes from. Niggas was steal.
So that's what I'm saying. They want to send young black men back down to Tennessee and I'm not Tennessee. My grandmother's from Memphis, Tennessee, from Mississippi and all that because of some cheap crib prices. You want an island and you want to feel like you made. Man, listen, listen. Right now, I'm sorry because it's so important. We don't have any black representation in artificial intelligence. My homies in them working in that shit, they feel like, man, my man said, I feel like Jackie Robinson in this motherfucking gang. I'll be by myself. I'll be in there feeling like if I say something stupid, these niggas gonna think every black person I know dumb as hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm not knocking the South and whole. What I'm saying is that the majority of blacks that are in these Midwestern and West Coast cities and even some of the East Coast cities, they're being priced out. Name me right now in tech, where's the biggest city in the country? Don't hit me with no Huntsville, Alabama, because they're doing some space program shit up there. Don't hit me with no Houston, Texas. We talking about San Francisco, New York, Chicago, metropolitan Detroit. Detroit is the home of the black film industry. Right now, I'll be in the calls with Tubi and them. Bro, that's where they're at. Tubi just did $1 billion deal with Fox off the backs of young black people in Detroit doing their own films. It's the next Motown. It's the next Motown situation. And niggas talking about, have you ever been to the South to undermine one? I'm saying, bro, right now, we got to figure this out. I'm going to give you my projection what I think going to happen, man. I think that a lot of black people is about to flee these northern cities and go back south. And when they get back south, they're going to drum up that harp storm and watch them niggas out the face of earth. And I'm going to tell you how I know they do it. Look what happened in Florida. They don't even talk about that. In the Florida panhandle. But see, this is bigger than gentrification, because gentrification is, oh, we're going to make some of these areas white. No, we talking about displacement, homie. Displacement. I'm talking about you just not there no more. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So when you look at states like Michigan, you got to support that, because, for the most part, shit, in my opinion, like I said, the music industry guys are doing well. The film industry, you have a black economy. It's like Atlanta in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta's Georgia, everybody fled, but I'll come back tomorrow. But the point is, it's about the disinvestment into the Negro in this country. I'm not pushing no racial ideology, no religion thing. You cannot show me where they invest in the black people. You look at higher academia. I was on the call with Professor Brian Pardo from Northwestern University. He is the biggest guy in AI. And I had to get in there how I got in there. And I talked to him and he said, look, bro, I'm going to keep it real. I could play this audio on my phone that I had with him for y'all right now, put my life at risk because it means so much. He said, man, right now, if you a black person going to anybody in higher academia trying to do any AI project, they telling them agents, hey, look, we'll come get you up out of here. They too scared to do it. They is too scared to do it. They will not touch it. Go to UCLA. Go to Georgia. The matter of fact, he referred me to Georgia Tech. He said, man, well, Atlanta's still pretty much a black city, and the Georgia Tech, that's the third biggest technical school in the country. They hire everybody from Apple. He's like, maybe they'll help you, but it ain't nothing meaningful right now. Go, like I said, go into these technical departments in the major universities in America. And if you black in there, nigga, if you ain't in there cleaning that flow, and they know the Mexicans doing that. So, I mean, like, what does a nigga do? If you ain't there scoring no touchdown or dunking no basketball, they going to call them people and say, hey, bro, get them up out of there. So we got to have a real conversation. We need to, and this is another thing too. Y'all be talking about fuck the Africans. Hey, bro, the Africans is the ones that's the priority minorities that are in OpenAI, in Google, in Apple. And we done told them all, nigga, y'all ain't shit. Fuck you, you tether.
No, it ain't. We told them that. What they did was they painted.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. Just hear what I'm saying, OG. I'm not saying you right. I know what you're about to say. You right. What I'm saying is now they like shit. I'm not fucking with no nigga, no way, because that's what they say. Oh, we hire some black people, but now we can't get hired in to these big tech firms because the Africans are the blacks in those spaces, and we told them fuck y'all. I'm just being honest with you.
Well, let me say this about that, right? See, because I come from an upper managerial background. It's just a little known fact about me. I was the site operations manager for GM Powertrain plant in Toledo, Ohio, right? It was GM's test site for a robotic movement period. I think it was GM's first fully automated, fully robotic plant in the world. I was site operations manager when they converted over to having robots do the majority of the work, including high-lows, trucks that were controlled by sensors in the floor, everything, right? Once a month, we had what we call a PSRB meeting, where the department heads from all departments on the facility came to the meeting. We met with the UAW president, whose name was the local 400. His name was Ray Woods. We met with the plant manager, the assistant plant manager. All department heads were there. I was a department head, right? I was in charge of the entire physical 2.5 million square foot facility, inside and out. Some of my biggest naysayers were Nigerian engineers who gave me the most motherfucking problems. I had never had a relationship or never been in the workings, because I'm a brother. I'm not even gonna get into it, right? But I had never worked with any Africans in any meaningful way until that time. I had more pushback. I had more doubt and more resentment that came from the Nigerians who were the engineers for the entire plant than anybody else, because the Nigerians have a preconceived notion, and I think that black people in America, and I'm gonna make this point, we're gonna finish this up, we'll come back tomorrow. Black people in America, when you examine the relationship between blacks and Africans, specifically the Africans who are into tech, who are into, right, the AI, from the Nigerians specifically, right?
Period.
Right? I think we were shocked to learn that a lot of the Africans who are not Africans in diaspora, they don't like Americans. They don't consider us Africans. They don't consider us a part of them. They consider us Americanized niggers, and they treat us as such. So I think the dynamic that exists in the distrust and the anger and the resentment that exists between blacks and Africans who are now living in America and operating in America, it didn't come from us, because think about it. We were enslaved, right? In chattel slavery. But the Africans in Africa were colonialized by Europeans, and they were fed the same anti-nigger sentiment that white America was fed about us. So when you have Africans coming from different parts of Africa who are not in the know, they look at black Americans like because America did a good job by broadcasting the most negative aspects about being black in America throughout the whole world. Blacks are lazy, they shiftless, they own drugs, they pimp.
They ain't to be trusted.
They ain't to be trusted. So a lot of Nigerians come over here, they already have preconceived, pre-programmed ideas about who black people in America are.
Yeah, I want to say one thing, because I know
I'm glad you said that. Now that's where I was going with it, L. That's what I was about to say.
Yeah, I apologize for cutting you out too, because my thing is this: I have an even more distorted and warped view of it. I think that black Americans, and I have some Nigerian and Ghanaian friends and big bros, we have to have a real conversation and sit down with West Africans, Southern Africans, even East Africans, Africans that are, I would say, from Kenyans, stuff like that. I don't think we have that same problem with, like, especially the South Africans, because we basically had the same situation between apartheid and Jim Crow. You know what I'm saying? They had a similar situation. The only difference is that they were the majority. So that's even crazy. It was 80% of them, and then they let them people get down on them like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's not the point. No, you know, I think we have a more of a solidarity with them. But the West African narrative, we got to have a real conversation with them, and that's why it's the real. That's the issue we have to have, and I don't think they want to have that, to be honest with you. Now I'm gonna be real, you know, you got some over here, man, that not necessarily Nigerians either, but that we grew up with and stuff, that they families over there, they one of the guys. But I'm telling you, the West African and Black Americans, we got a historical rift due to this white supremacy, slavery, slave trade thing. We got to have a conversation, because you know, from the exemption list to, I mean, it's still money from them trades that's in them families, bro, that people ain't talking about. It's still people still sending that slave, still spending that slave trade money, and y'all don't want to have that conversation, man. But you know that's big. But I get what you're saying. Because another dude just talk, oh, y'all don't know what y'all talking about, dude. Listen, when they do hire black, they hire continental African. Period. That's what happens. So you know. But I appreciate you guys for letting me on. I'd love to come back and for sure, man.
Hey, listen, man, tap in. Follow me on Instagram, brother. Dog
right now.
Podcast. I'll follow you back. I'll send you the number. We'll love to have you back, man. This is an open air forum of discussions about all things black, whether it be entertainment, politics, religion,
full of information.
Oh yeah, public figure. Listen, I'm gonna let the boogeyman himself. I want you to summarize, if you will, and take us out. But give us your parting editorial, Boogie. What you want to talk about? It could be this or something totally different. What you want?
Don't leave when we exit, L. We go off to backstage.
I don't want to talk about nothing. I'm tired. I've been working all day. L, make sure you follow Public Figure Boogie on Instagram. Yeah, you full of information.
Yeah. I could take us off. Shit. Look, at this point, how I'm looking at it is this. This DC thing is going to show the first cracks of the dissolution of the United States of America. Listen, man, the Roman Empire had 3,000 years. We ain't even in year 250 yet, and we are already pushing the second Civil War. This system was not designed, and hear me clearly, it was not designed for this country to really win long term, because it was an extraction model that made this what it was. It wasn't really through no conquest or nothing like that. It was through pure extraction. The Romans, they got theirs through bloodshed. They went and killed you, and they extracted tribute. At a certain point, they start rolling with the Gauls and all that. This thing was built purely off backdoor energy. They backdoored their own people in Britain. Then they backdoored their own money-getting class in the South. Then they backdoored the races. So it's just, at this point, it's like, it's no more ways to backdoor somebody. Like this American experiment, it cannot exist when you got poor white folks that you told was better than niggas. They want some. The black Americans want some because you just had them enslaved for all these years. Now you got Mexicans coming in. You done told everybody all the money was here. This thing cannot stand as is no more. So my you know what my recommendation to black people, now I love to touch on it, is this. Everybody having a global conversation. You got the Asians who got a second crack at it because they gunpowder is what gave the Europeans the shit to run the world. They just used it in a different way, took everybody down. But now you see they in the Africa. They saying shit, there's too many people over here, let's go to Africa. What am I saying? Is that right now we got to have a global strategy for this conversation right now. We cannot just be, you know, you can black American all you want. You got to have a global strategy in what you're doing, similar to how the Vatican operates with the Catholic Church in Italy. I think a nation state, what Elijah Muhammad said from day one, we got to run back to. We need a certain amount of states for ourselves where we can control the politics, and then we could just, because we're gonna have a segregated nation anyway. So man, I'm about to follow you guys, but if you would put in the chat.
But the thing is, what the United States whole problem is right now is they've been cut off all them natural resources. Everybody else is clicking up together and they cut the United States out of it. You feel me? So the United States got to do something dramatic, and they under pressure right now. They sweat. Why? Because Africa kicked them out. Y'all can't just take these resources no more. Y'all don't have access to it no more. And then you had China and Russia back Africa and get them all the resources, money, artillery, and everything else to stand as they own on their own without the United States help.
What a hallmark of the U.S. been this is that we've always been, listen, when you talk to prison, whatever, the U.S. then showed the whole world we will crash the fuck out. Japan, we didn't even have a war on mainland Japan. We just killed everybody over just to prove a point. Like, bitch, we will fuck. We don't care. We ready to die about this shit. We'll kill everybody. And ain't been no nuclear weapon used in a wartime situation since that. So they've been, it's like going in, maybe you go to school, you stab a nigga, like, damn, dude, stab motherfucker, and nobody want no smoke with them. And that's how the U.S. been operating. The U.S. don't produce nothing, like you said, brother. What natural resource do we produce? We are a consumer society. This is ancient Rome.
They got cut out of the diamonds and the gold, the platinum, and then the thing, I don't know what that material called that they use for these computers and the cell phone and all that. What is it? Yeah, they cut them out of that. So all these things that's going on right now, these events, that's why. What their next play is, I can't say, because they liable to do anything under pressure. But this is what that's their main problem right now, is they got cut out of them natural resources, and that was the lump sum of our income, import and export. That's why they call themselves doing the tripe, and making them go up on all them prices of import and export. Then you feel me?
But the thing is with the tariffs though, with Trump, it's too isolationist, because now it's like, bro, you know, people trying to do, people trying to do business here. Donald Trump is literally just a front guy for the Heritage Foundation, man.
Oh, that's it. He don't call the shots for real.
Now what's so crazy is I could see them letting him hit the dirt just to prove a point, because he the white Obama. He is the white Obama, man. Listen, I'm gonna make a prediction on here. I know it might sound crazy. I could see him and Obama running as vice presidents this next go round.
Jay, what's your Instagram, brother? Hey, what's your Instagram?
THAKID. No, actually, I'm tripping. I gave you the wrong Instagram. That was I just changed my. It's FROMLNDN from London. Yeah, that was my old Instagram. I'm tripping. I'd have had it for 20 years, and 10 years, and I changed it. But that's the thing that's going down, man. It's just a crazy situation. But I tell you this though, Donald Trump will cut a deal with Black America. I know y'all won't think.
No, he only gonna cut a deal if it's something beneficial for him, though. It ain't to look out for us. See, that's the whole problem where we fucked up at, taking them handshakes. Our people started taking them handshakes. Once an enemy could never be a friend. You feel me? And that's where we fucked up at. We've been tricked. We've been tricked in the position as a race of people that we in right now. We've been fooled. You know what I'm saying? And it passed on from generation to generation, because our people before us didn't know no better, and they taught us bullshit. And you feel me? It went on from generation to generation since slavery, dog. That's why they implemented the schools. The school was a form of how to rechange slavery. Put you in school. School don't teach you how to be no boss, no leader, no king. School teach you how to take orders and go work for them. You feel me? Mm-hmm. That's all. That's why I say slavery wasn't never abolished. It was just reinformed. That's all they did.
Yeah. But just to piggyback off of that too, slavery never was gonna work, even in the white lands, like, because it created a system where it was no customers. Capitalism demands customers. That extraction model, and I studied this, man. It did not work. After a while, it just became about, okay, well, shit, I could go rape some Black women when I want to.
No, that's why they got it to today's slavery. That's why they changed it. They Willie lynched us. The old slavery. They realized that wasn't gonna work. So that's why we in the position we in now. It's still slavery. They just redid it.
I disagree.
They gave us jobs. Why you think they gave you jobs at Chrysler, Ford, GM, and what they call it, the plant? Why is the where you can build cars that called the plant? Yeah, it's still the plantation.
I disagree a little bit, OG. I'm gonna tell you why. Because listen, this is my opinion, right? When other nations saw,
listen, hold that thought, because we're approaching with 40 seconds from hour 2. So listen, I promise you, we're coming back tomorrow, and we can revisit parts and portions of the conversation. But I do want to start with the whole passport bros movement that's sweeping across the country.
That's what we on tomorrow.
Yeah. So Juice, take us out, Uncle Juice.
Well, y'all, we appreciate everybody tapping in to the YouTube streets, and we appreciate our host and our honorary guest L for joining us with his knowledge and wisdom.
Thank you, brother.
Me? And we want y'all to tap in tomorrow. We back. We know y'all missed us, and we was out of work, but one of us, I ain't gonna say no name, one of us was off the chain and got put on restriction. You feel me? Somebody ain't shut his gate and let him out the yard and shit. You feel me? So with that being said, you know what I'm saying? We got public figure Boogie, we got L, and we got the original Don Dada who started it all. Dog face called it all.
Oh shit. And listen, shout out to Eon Williams, aka DC Black, man. Hey, listen, I love y'all. Peace. Wonderful conversations. Good men talked about things that matter. Y'all have a good night. Be safe. Peace.